Hi, and welcome to Polarized Relationships. I'm Frank DeGenova, and I'll be taking you through a little communication with Jean-Luc and Beverly. Now, if you're a Star Trek fan, Picard, season 3, I want to just give you a heads up. This is a spoiler alert. If you haven't watched season 3, episode 3 in particular, I think it's called 17 Seconds, stop watching now. So I wanted to, when I saw this episode, I saw how Beverly and Jean-Luc were communicating. Now, I have to give credit to the writers. The writers were brilliant on this, and whoever they are, I should look them up, know masculine and feminine communication. They know the nuances of that. And so when I was watching this, I was blown away by the writing, and obviously I'm a fan of The Next Generation and some of the other ones too, but having this come to fruition just blew me away. So I want to just break this down, unpack this, and show how we speak with our partners and how things can get confusing. So we'll go through the video and we'll talk about it. But it starts off with, this is a question for the guys and the girls too. Guys, do you sometimes feel that women are making decisions for you? Or sometimes, I guess, if you look at the women's side, do you feel that you just take things onto your own volition and decide because he doesn't know any better? So anyway, let's go through this. Let's go through this video and see what happens. I love this. When I saw this part, I was like, "Well, I gotta unpack this." And so here we go. So let's listen to, again, spoiler alert here. If you haven't watched Picard season 3, don't watch this. Or if you don't care, watch it. If you're not a Star Trek fan, watch it.
That's how it always was with us. There was always a clock. That day, maybe more than any other, because we both knew we were at the end.
I didn't.
So Beverly is telling her side of the story, and she's secure in her own ideas of it. But Jean-Luc didn't have a clue. Obviously, I'm not gonna just be petty and do the Captain Obvious here. So we'll let it play out and see what else they say.
I didn't know I would never see you again. That I would wonder for years what it was that I had done.
So basically, Jean-Luc was left in the lurch. Like he was left wondering what he did, and it was nothing. He didn't do anything. He just thought it was a problem. So I don't know, guys. A lot of you feel just left in bewilderment and just wonder what you did wrong, not knowing the whole story? So anyway, let's keep going.
No idea that it was really all about what you had done.
We ended our relationship.
Our romantic relationship.
So here we go, where she's basically setting the container or the boundaries or what happened. So I don't know, guys. I'm not picking sides here. So you gotta know that's polarized relationships. It's not just picking sides. I just like to see both sides. It seems a lot of guys would think that women are selfish in that sense, where it's all about them, only about their needs, and guys feel that their needs aren't being met at all too. So, all right.
For the 5th time.
Well, I got pregnant that night. I wanted to tell you.
Then why didn't you?
I struggled over telling you. I wanted him to know you, but then refugees from Kalara 5, angry about Romulan relocation, kidnapped you and held you for 9 days.
So, he's seeing a pattern here. Oh my God. So it's like she's imposing her perception onto Jean-Luc, and she's assuming both of their needs. What she needs, what he needs, and obviously, I mean, we own our own reality. Others are just a guess in our reality. So that's what communication is all about, to get everything into the forefront and to communicate. Yeah.
Oh, so my only window was for 9 days.
Then I tried again, but this time, 2 Riemann assassins intercepted the ship in the Denatra sector and held a disruptor to your head.
And how is that?
He doesn't see how this is relevant to anything, really.
That only days later, Starfleet asks you to negotiate with the Praetor, and a photon grenade detonates meters from you. And that...
So what I see here is he's just trying to figure out what's going on, and she's bringing all these scenarios. Guys, we think analytically, and women think more emotionally. They perceive more, and they kind of come to conclusions more. So it's this, and then this, and then this, and then this. So she's got valid concerns, obviously, and he's just like, what the hell? Like, she got pregnant, yeah, and it's her. Definitely, she's a mother. She gets to make the decisions too about that. I'd like to point out too, though. This is kind of off topic a little bit, but it's like when women have a child and pregnant, they can decide to have that life aborted or not. That's their choice, right? Pro-choice. And a lot of guys feel that they should have a choice too to walk away. But I know it only kind of works one way. But anyway, where's I going with this? So in his logic, anyway, let's just keep going on. He's like, what's going on here? He's very confused.
is when I knew it would be like that forever. It will be what it always was. Attempts on your life.
And you never thought, if you had told me, it all might have been different.
And that's a thing too, like, in my experience, I find that the decision was made for me, and I wasn't given a chance to make up my own decision, given all the facts. I mean, men, we want to problem solve, but a lot of times we're not given the opportunity to get all the variables and make a decision. So, yeah, he's just like, he's confused. He's flabbergasted, right? So, yeah.
Jean-Luc, when the galaxy comes calling for you, you are not put upon by it. You love it. Don't tell me you would have walked away.
Beverly, you made the choice for me.
Right.
You don't.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, right. Like, exactly what I said.
Get to condemn people before the fact.
Over and over.
She made his decision for him without him knowing anything of what was going on. So, yeah, I think this happens a lot in relationships. And he has every right to be pissed. Yeah, I had an experience where... Okay, anyway, we'll keep going on. I'm just going to have an experience here. So, as I said, women are more... They rationalize more with emotions, men more with analytical. So she was all with emotions, and he's just trying to figure things out as logically, without the emotion. So anyway, crazy.
You told me how you never wanted to have a family, that you could never be a father because you were too afraid you'd be like your own.
Don't take my past and use it to justify and rationalize your actions. How dare you take my confiding in you about my father, about my fears, and use it to cut me out of the biggest decision of my life.
So she weaponized that. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I need a little bit of a little juice there, a little bit of tea. Yeah, it was. She used what she thought he would like. He uses his past against him, and all his vulnerabilities she used to use against him. So I don't know if you guys do that, if you experience that in your relationship, where the past comes back. And yeah, he just says, you just don't get to tell me to do that. And he's right. He's totally right. That's what I love about these writers. They know the nuances of masculine and feminine communication. I think it's brilliant. So, yeah. So basically, she took his ability to think, his agency away from him. He had no choice. Yeah. To make his own decision.
What could have been had I known? What might I have been? Father, a husband. I know now I would never have been my father. But I could have learned that 20 years before.
He has a point. I mean, I think as men, when we know all the variables, when we know we can make a proper decision. Now, I'm not comparing myself to Jean-Luc by any means, but I know when I became a father at a young age, I've always wanted a motorcycle, and I chose not to because, I'm not a pessimist or think of the worst, but I didn't want to leave myself in a potentiality of having my son without a father. So I chose not to buy a motorcycle just because of that. Because I had the variables in front of me, and I knew what was the best way to protect and provide for my family. So I guess something about shooting off in the galaxy. I mean, if he knew about his son, he would have made different choices. Not judged in the filter of, oh, your dad was like this, and you never wanted to be a father. Like that, it's not fair. It's not fair for him to do that. So, yeah, it's almost like the ladies out there. Do you find yourself doing that? You're going on emotion. You're taking all your information of the past and you're making a decision with excluding your partner. Yeah. So I know that that guys would rise up. Not all, obviously. There's a lot of deadbeats out there. So anyway, yeah.
When Jack was on his way, I was terrified. All I knew was that if you're the son of Jean-Luc Picard, there's a target on your back.
Yeah, she has a point.
I lost my parents, then a husband, then my son Wesley, all to the same stars that own you.
So she's got a valid point there, because in her experience, it's danger. It's like she's mama bear's coming out. And that's one thing that guys won't ever know about, the protective instincts of a woman with her family, with her children mostly than anything else. So she's valid, and she was basing her stuff on her past and the pain of the past. And yeah, so that's why this is brilliant writing. Yeah, it's crazy. I love it.
As a mother, your whole being is about protecting your child.
Right.
I thought I could protect mine. I didn't know if I could protect yours.
He's got nothing to say on that. So, yeah, let me just pull back a little bit here. Not to replay, but just to get a better visual on. I maybe get both of them together. Anyway, we'll just leave it there. I have personal experience with this. I was communicating with a woman from a dating app a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, whatever. Anyway, and things are going well, and then it just seemed like things were just fizzling out, which is fine. And what had happened was there was a ghosting from her side. And I asked her a question. She didn't respond. So I'm the type of guy that I don't like loose ends. So I responded with a text about, 3-4 months later, just to say, hey, what's going on? And I called her on it, and which she ended up, I says, what was that all about? And then she proceeded telling me that, oh, you don't want a woman with a few kids, 3 kids, younger children. You don't want a woman that's younger. You don't want a woman that's lives far away. I said, you don't get to tell me that. You don't get to tell me what I do or do not want. And she's like, whoa. She was like surprised that I called her out on that. And I says, that's my decision. No, if you don't want to be, then you tell me. I mean, that's to me is fair. Give me all the info. Like Jean-Luc had to know all the info to make a proper decision. Don't have your decisions made for you. And that's basically the theme here of this video. With Beverly used his vulnerability against Jean-Luc from his past of what he would and wouldn't do. She made a decision for him, and guys don't like that. Men will rise up, given the opportunity. We want to be heroes. We want to save the day. So, ladies out there, just say how you feel and just say all the problems that you're concerning, and don't worry about being judged or feeling vulnerable yourself or wrong. We got to know what the dealio is so we can make the proper decision. But if you leave us in the dark, yeah, that's why I can't figure out men. Well, we can't figure out you guys because we need to communicate, and that's the biggest thing. So yeah, I think that we covered this. So let me know in the comments what you think about this reaction and the unpacking, and I'd love to hear from you how you think, who is in the right or the wrong, or do you think this was a balanced communication? So anyway, thanks, and I'll see you next time. All right, until the next video.